to Artistically Married, where we explore the inner workings of our marriage driven by artistic expression. We're your hosts, Jake Ackerman
and Brianne Steinberg.
All right, and today we have Joe Lapinski in our studio with us.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
It's great.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time. Yeah.
So excited to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
I was just telling someone today that you were coming on the podcast, and I was like, I feel like this is like our first fan. Like, you're the first person that approached us, and you're like,
cool.
I want to come on the podcast.
Yeah,
like, yes,
for sure. No, absolutely. I think it was like just by seeing other friends of mine, like coming on and doing, like, having a great time with both of you, and I just wanted a piece of that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it's fun. Have you done a podcast yet?
I have. Yeah, okay. I did one recently. I can't remember the name of it, but it was down in the States. The guy was located,
cool.
But we had a good chat. And
you were traveling down there?
No, I had released a single, and I hired a PR company to kind of like put that single out to the world for me, and and interviews came back. So like, you know, like blog interviews or a podcast interview, and it was just from folks that I wasn't connected with.
Right.
I'm still enjoy it, but like I think connecting with people in my community is a little more important for me, but any way to get the word out really about my music.
And that's the great part about music, is that it can you can send it anywhere, right? It doesn't have to be like local, but
absolutely.
I get why you're looking for the demographic that's around you, because those are the people that are going to come out and support your shows and
for sure
create the community that's happening in Niagara. But
and it's always good to go beyond, right? And that's my personal goal with like this new music that I'm putting out right now, is to go beyond where I've ever been, basically, like go to the next level, whatever that is, just like have,
I noticed that on the new single is a lot different than the older stuff that you've done before.
Right. Yeah. Things that's definitely not on purpose. That's just like where the music has evolved, because this album that I'm putting out is it's been almost 11 years since I last put out a record. So so a lot has changed.
Singles? You've done a couple singles.
Yeah, I've done 2 singles, but it's all part of a record called New Day that is coming out June 27th.
Cool. And that's so close.
It's super close, and
so it's got to be recorded and ready to go.
It's done. It's like printed. It's the vinyl's pressed. Everything's ready to go.
Amazing.
So it's super exciting, and but the world things have changed a little bit in the music.
11 years.
Yeah, totally.
Since you started. Yeah.
It's but also like musically for me, because I've worked with so many amazing artists, musicians over those years, and they've kind of influenced me, and my tastes have changed, and also like my co-producer Dave Clark, who I'm sure I'm going to be talking about plenty in this interview. He knows me so well. Like for like this new record, it was kind of one of his goals to push me to spots that I've never been to before.
It's exciting.
So, because he's co-produced 2 of my other albums, and he would say things like, "You've done that already." I'd bring an idea to him, and he'd be like, "Yep, you've done that. Move on. Do something different." He'd sometimes even suggest scrapping something altogether, or like, chop it up, get rid of that. Do more of this, and then make it faster, do it slower, let's change the rhythm, let's change the tempo.
That's awesome.
And so he's a big influence. So like the 2 singles that are out as of today are big. He influenced those songs pretty heavily, just by suggesting how we approach them sonically and arrangement wise. Like I think both songs, so Heard a Bird and I Know This are the 2 songs I'm talking about, had whole other sections in them originally, even whole other lyrics. And and I just trust Dave so much. He would just say, give it a try. Just chop out this part. Put it aside. Maybe you can write a whole new song from that part down the road. Just trust me. And then I'd do it and I'd be like, yep, you're right.
You were right.
It feels
Yeah,
really good now.
it takes that familiarity for them to be comfortable enough. Because sometimes as the producer, you probably have been in that scenario where you're like, you don't want to step on toes.
That's it.
Somebody's
yeah.
bringing their creative genius. You don't want to hurt their feelings. So you're like, okay, this is your record. You want this. Let's do this.
Totally.
That's great. Like, good for you that you picked him, somebody to co-produce with you that's willing to tell you.
Yeah. And because we're so tight, like he was my best man at my wedding. Like we're like tight. We're like brothers.
Cool.
And of course I trust him. And believe me, there were moments where I was like, no way, man.
Let's fight.
No way. Yeah. Like, but we've always agreed like, that we do the whole improv thing. Like, yes. And like, okay, I'm going to say yes to this. And we're going to move forward with the idea and see where it goes. And if it's not working, whatever. We'll backtrack or we'll go in a new direction. You know, it's art.
I feel like this might be a good thing to do in a marriage.
Yes, and.
Yes, and.
Yes, and. Well, if it was my dad sitting here, he would say, yes, dear. You're like, that would be his one piece of advice to me. Like, just say yes, dear.
Just say yes, dear.
Okay, Dad. Yeah. To an extent, I guess.
Yeah.
That
it's
maybe
a different
that's what
time
he means.
period now.
Different.
Yeah.
Totally different world these days. Yeah.
Totally. I'm really interested to kind of hear. I mean, we don't know each other that well. I'm really curious to hear about your musical journey. I always love hearing about how musicians, like where they start from and kind of how they get to where they are now.
Yeah. Man, how far are we going back?
Childhood. Let's get to childhood.
Let's start.
I always like to know if people are music lesson kids or no.
Yeah, totally. And I'm both. Like my thing was my parents bought a piano, put my sister in it. My sister is older than me by 2 years, put us both in private piano lessons with really nice woman who lived down the street who was like the local church organist, you know, and she was the organist at a church that was near us, and she was nice, and we learned conservatory style, grade 1, and I think I went as far as grade 5, but my thing was I like from day one. Sure, I wanted to learn how to play piano, but I had no interest in learning how to play Mozart or Bach or any of those songs.
You just weren't into that music.
And I was writing my own music while I was practicing. So my mom would say, okay, you got to practice 20 minutes every day.
Yeah.
So I'd be down there and I'd run maybe one of the tunes, but then I'd be playing something of my own. And it took her a while to notice, but then she did notice, and she's a classical music fan, so she was like, that's not Mozart, that's not Bach. And so I'd be like, yeah, but it's my music. And they were like, okay, you're not practicing the music that we're paying for lessons. We bought this piano, so we're going to cancel the piano lessons. And I was thinking, awesome, cool. I'm just going to sit at this piano and write some more music. And then they sold the piano.
What?
And it was, I love my parents. I will say this.
That's
what
so
it did,
intense.
it was,
Bach
and it was
nothing.
kind of like a moment.
Bach or nothing.
Yeah, Bach or nothing. Exactly. But it was kind of like, for me, of course I was upset.
Yeah.
But they said, well, if you want to play music, now it's time for you to get a job and buy your own instrument. And that was key. That was pivotal. That was like, oh, okay.
They're hardcore.
So yeah, it was hardcore. It was like, and my friend, like, we weren't rich. It was like, I get why they might have sold the piano.
Yeah.
Like maybe they weren't even owning it. Maybe they were renting it.
Who knows?
So
Yeah.
and so I got a paper route, and I'm looking at your Casio keyboard there, and bought like a Yamaha version of that.
Amazing.
Just like that, with the built-in speaker.
Yeah.
And
Buttons from the 80s.
yeah, and man, I wrote so much music on that little thing, and I have still cassette tapes of that music because I would have recorded it, and that's what got me into recording. And like I dreamt like from an early age of like wanting to like be on stage.
Wow.
You know, like I'd be under my covers late at night, pretending I was on stage, like entertaining an audience, you know?
So you were like from childhood.
Oh, totally.
That's amazing.
Totally. And it was always there. And then like, so yeah, I took lessons, but then in grade 9, one of my best friends, Chris Clark, left his acoustic guitar at my house because he was too lazy to bring it home on the bus or something like that. He was like, I'm just going to leave this here. Huh. And I still have that acoustic guitar. Like he left it there and I picked it up. I'm like, well, I'm going to just figure out how to play this thing. So I taught myself how to play guitar.
Wow.
Like I used like, you know, I went to the library and got like some books and I bought Guitar World magazine.
Background, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
you had the
already
musicality.
there.
Yeah.
It was already there.
Are Chris and Dave
rhythm.
brothers?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, I know. A different Clark. Cool. Good question. Yeah. And yeah, that guitar was like, that was it for me.
You're like, I lost your guitar. I don't know where it went.
And you know, he would come years later because it was his mom's guitar. Actually, he would come back to me years later and say, "Hey, I'd like that guitar back." And of course, I was like, "Absolutely," but he still never came by to pick it up.
Come on.
So I've thought about like. It's in dire shape at the moment. It can't be played, but like I thought about putting some money into it and like giving it
rescuing
back.
it.
Yeah, and giving it back to his mom because I see his mom once in a while walking around.
That'd be so cute.
Yeah, it'd be really nice. But anyway, that's the beginnings. Yeah, for me.
Wow, that's amazing.
Totally.
So you were just like music right from day one since you were a kid.
Pretty much, yeah. It was always around me, but my family, like my parents, weren't musicians. Like my dad had a banjo but I never saw him play it.
Cool.
But music was like in my blood for sure. Like my mom's grandfather, so my great grandfather was a composer in Germany. Oh, wow. Who like composed music that my family was getting royalties for.
Wow.
Up until like that runs out, you know, after 50 years, I think it becomes open. Huh. Like you know, there are no royalties.
I've never read into stuff like that. I'm always curious about royalties, how it pays off like that.
Yeah, my great opa, he wrote some music. He wrote a Christmas song that would be popular every 5 or 10 years in Germany, and then we'd get these royalty checks. Wild. And then he also wrote anthems for different communities, like different cities in Germany.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, really neat.
So
like,
cool.
So there's definitely music in my family.
Yeah.
My parents are huge music fans.
Yeah.
So like there was always music playing.
Yeah. And that actually leads me into my next question. I was going to say, who's your biggest influence? You could do growing up if you want, or both. Or now. Yeah.
I don't know.
What are you into now?
Like if we're continuing in that high school zone, like high school for a lot of us, right? Like a lot of it was, whether it was music or art or like it's foundational. For me, it was like getting into like David Bowie was huge for me.
Okay.
The Who.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix. Frank Zappa. I got into Frank Zappa very young, almost maybe too young. Like some of his music is pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty out there.
And risque.
Didn't we ask Adam about Frank Zappa?
Oh, Buller?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
we were like, come on, you must love him. And he was like,
I thought Tom Waits, and he was like, no, not really.
No, not really. I thought it was Frank Zappa.
I had the same question for him.
Come on, you must love
You thought Tom Waits?
And I thought Zappa. I'm like, come on,
okay.
Really? You gotta listen to Zappa. He's like, yeah, believe it or not, no. I'm
not
like,
into it. I'm like, what?
Okay, so all that just comes from you naturally.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, right?
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Zappa was huge for me. Brian Eno. Like, I was like in high school, for me, are you guys from St. Catharines or Niagara Falls?
Yeah, we're from Niagara. Yeah, we're born and raised here.
Do you guys remember in downtown St. Catharines a store called Station to Station? It was like a CD store.
Oh.
Remember that?
No, we had the Beat Goes On.
Beat Goes On. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So similar vibe. Station to Station was owned by like a a family. So it was like a mom, a dad, and then a son would work there as well.
Okay.
But the mom, as soon as she would see me walk in, and this is like during high school, like I'm like, whatever, 14, 15,
yeah,
16,
yeah.
walk in there and she'd say, "Oh, have you ever listened to Frank Zappa before?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." Maybe
Show
you
me
should
this.
listen to this. And they had a listening station. And, I still
that's
remember the
so
day she
fun.
slid over
I
a
love
Zappa record. I
those.
put it on. I'm like, what? Or she did it with Bowie for me. She did it with Brian Eno.
Wow.
Huge for me, like artists that like
Yeah.
I are to this day, like so influential for
Okay.
me. And it was that woman. Yeah, she would just slide the record over. Or Beck. Beck was another one. Like,
Oh,
have you ever
yeah.
heard this one? Mellow Gold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh my God, my mind's getting blown. Or even classical music, like she'd slide
What
like
a
German
woman.
composers. It was wild. It was so cool. Butthole Surfers, that was another one. Like she was just like kind of watching where I gravitated towards and just would like, here,
That
you should
woman's good at her
listen.
job.
Man, it was awesome. It
That was
so
my
cool.
that was actually my dream job when I was a kid. I used to go to Beat Goes On. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
what I'm going to do with my life. And then CDs went away.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Is there
Yeah.
any more CD stores? I guess Sunrise and the Penn Center, right?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
still buy CDs.
And
Yeah.
people and CDs, I think, are coming back in
Yeah?
a weird way. Tapes are coming back too, or are already back.
I don't think
what-
CD
yeah.
players are coming back.
No, that's the thing. You have to
the
go
hard
to
part.
Valley
You gotta go find
Village
them, yeah.
and find an old one.
We ended up finding we have two. I mean, you guys can't see our basement, but yeah, we ended up finding a replacement 5-disc player
Ooh, nice.
for our. I mean, we have one, but now we have a backup just in
Good.
case.
Yeah, just in case. I know.
When it
I
goes,
know.
now we still got the equipment for the other
Well,
one.
it was funny. I thought I was like ahead of the game when I was like, I chose to invest all my money in CDs, and I'm like, the CD goes in the computer, and I'm like, there, you're always going to be using
It's
computers,
perfect technology.
so it has to
Yeah.
stay there, and then
No.
it's
No.
gone.
Yeah.
You said your new album that you're releasing, you have records for?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because records are still, everyone's
yeah.
still doing records. It's because of the sound.
They sell, and for me, like, I think the people who like my music and are coming to see me play appreciate vinyl. So,
Yeah.
I
100%.
sell more vinyl than CDs for sure.
Yeah. We were talking to G about that same thing.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
don't bother with the CDs, just make the vinyls.
I know the CD is just, it's so cheap to make. So it's kind of like,
Exactly.
oh, I
That's
might
why
as well
it
make
seemed
some.
like it was a
and-
perfect technology, but
The CD made it so accessible for anybody just to like give your music
Yeah,
out.
give
to
it away.
people.
make batches
Yeah.
of them. Yeah. We've done that before.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think like getting back to like the influences thing, like as I got through high school, things shifted towards like Canadian music. I started getting obsessed
That's
with Canadian
totally
music.
the vibe. When we were listening to your music, I was like,
Yeah.
this sounds Canadian.
It's yeah, totally. So like a big one for me was the Rio Statics.
Okay, yeah.
Like one of my favorite bands in high school, and just the fact that I could see them in St. Catharines, like I saw them play at the Hideaway in St. Catharines.
Nice.
Yeah.
And but Dave Clark, who is my co-producer, is the drummer from that band. So like
Wow.
there's this whole like me meeting him as a teenager, and then fast forward to playing professionally, me and him and his another band he plays in and my band doing some shows together.
Oh, fun.
And then realizing, oh, we got lots in common, and then like we realized we wanted to like make music together.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
always
really
talk
cool.
about that with musicians, just like the collaboration effect is the best.
Absolutely.
That's how you want to end up hanging out with your friends. We have, a hard time if we have friends that we do. Of course, we love our friends that are not musical, but it makes it really a different vibe when you're hanging out with them, and that's not an option,
Yeah.
It's like, what are we going to do?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are we going to hang out if we can't play music together?
So does he do the drums on your album then? If
Yeah.
he's the drummer? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he, and and just rewinding back to like me getting into the Rio Statics, like I remember sitting and watching one of their videos. It was for the song Shaved Head, which is from an album called Whale Music. Like watching that video, and it's of them performing it live. Like that's what the video is. It's
Okay.
them like performing it. and watching him play and thinking, like, literally, I'm not making this up, thinking to myself, if there's going to be a drummer who could play my music, it's
Gonna be that guy.
I need a drummer like that guy. Like, seriously, I'm not making this up. And then, like, you know, years later, it's like, he is that guy, right? Like, it's like, wow. And sure enough, like, he gets my music. Like, he really gets it.
Yeah.
You know, I play him a tune. He's like, yeah, cool. I know what to do. And then I listen and I go, yeah, you do know what to do. That's it. You know, that type of thing. So, yeah. And he's a great guy. Yeah. I could talk forever about Dave. He's a good friend, but that was huge for me. Just kind of, you know, oh, wow. Now I'm playing with this guy who I thought was the best drummer I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Thing,
Wow.
You know?
Well, if it's any consolation, Amanda had the same thing to say about you.
No.
Yeah, Amanda
Are you
Lynn?
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she was just like, Joe's amazing. You know, I just like play and he just knows what to do. Like, it's that same like symbiotic relationship, right?
I love that. And I love Amanda. Like, man, her music blows me away.
Good.
It's just so good. Yeah.
So good.
And, you know,
awesome.
we're talking about community. Like, she's done so much in the Niagara music community. It's awesome.
Yeah, she's so
really
supportive
cool.
of like all the musicians around too, which is amazing. Sometimes you don't get that, right? I mean, a lot of times, and not anyone's fault, but like when you're focused on your own creativity, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like you don't have enough energy at the end of the day once you're done all your work to like start supporting everybody else's work. But yeah, she does it.
Yeah, totally.
Good on her. So that was the next thing that what I was going to ask you is just you're involved in so many different projects with other musicians. How do you kind of decide how to pursue yourself creatively, and how do you decide how to work with others creatively?
I think it's about finding people that you connect with, like a friendship. You know, it is a friendship, and that's how I've always gone. Like, that's how I've always found myself in a band, you know, because I like these folks, you know. Like, I have been called like to be a hired musician once in a while,
right?
And that's okay, like for on the side of like meeting new people and maybe playing in a venue I've never played before, playing music that I've never played before. Like, that's all really great, but for me, nothing beats like actually, I'm connecting with the musicians that I'm playing with, and man, I'm becoming best friends with that person, and I want to go on tour with that person, or I want to make music with that person, and that's how it always happens for me.
Nice.
And that's how I end up in other people's bands too, is they, I think, feel the same way. It's like, Joe can play his instrument, but like, I like hanging out with him, and you know, and let's make some art together. And
yeah, that was totally the vibe I was telling Jacob when I was like getting ready for our podcast. I was going through your website and I'm like, it's all our friends.
Yeah, cool. And I haven't even updated that in a long time. That website, I gotta like sit down and put all new photos, but thank you for noticing that, because that's like, I'm really proud of like everyone I've worked with. Doesn't matter who they are.
Yeah,
it's
that's the vibe I got. I was just like, this is amazing. And I felt like it was just so like celebratory. I think a lot of times when you're talking about music production specifically, like as a like studio recording artist, I mean, obviously you're trying to promote yourself as the business. So I think sometimes it you know, it gets lost in the fact that you are really lifting up these people that you're producing, right? Like you're really like trying to celebrate their work and not making it so much about yourself as like the producer. And I totally got that energy from your website. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was great.
It's never about me at all. No, it's, I love working with the folks that I've worked with, whether it's, recording a record or playing in a band or whatever it is. Yeah, we always have a good time. And
it's so evident. I mean, not just your internet platform, but on stage too. You can tell like it's just about that like hangout situation. That's awesome.
Yeah, totally.
Can you walk us through your songwriting process? Lyrics or melodies first? Kind of how do you pen to paper? How do you figure it out?
Yeah, for me a lot. The music and the lyrics, like at first they run parallel to each other, but sometimes don't meet right away. So music, like I love sitting with my guitar and just coming up with music that makes me feel good. So I'm really into finger picking, and finger picking for me turns into a meditation because it's a lot of repetitive action. And I love incorporating that into some really nice chord changes and like, how does this make me feel? And then suddenly I start humming out a melody or start spitting out words that maybe are just filler words for now that kind of help me develop a melody.
Yeah.
So that's usually like one of the first things. And then with lyrics, it's usually things that I've written down or like used my iPhone, voice memo recorder app. Like I'm always, if I have an idea, I just try and either write it or type it or say it into that app. And I'm usually going back to those things that I've written and see if anything sparks for me lyrically. And then I'll just start writing. And so those lyrics and the music that are running parallel, then they'll meet and see if they can fit together.
Excuse me.
As far as like, like sometimes a song will come out in one whole unit, like with lyrics and chords all together.
Magic.
But for me, it's not that often, to tell you the truth, because I think I love playing the guitar so much or playing an instrument that I'm not even thinking of words. Like I'm just want the music to resonate in an as powerful way, like where the words, even if the words don't exist, the music is still really strong,
Yeah.
So that's how I've always been. So that, and lyrics, like lyric writing, I don't know, I have a whole bunch of methods, like anything from like just stream of consciousness type stuff to like I teach songwriting workshops with the Willow Arts community in
I've heard
St.
so much
Catharines.
amazing stuff about this place. I gotta go.
You gotta
Jeff
go.
Farnsworth was talking about it, doing like
Exactly.
painting workshops and stuff too.
And, for those, your listeners who may not know, the Willow Arts community is like, they provide free arts programming. So free arts programming to people with lived experience with mental health. So it could be someone who themselves personally have gone through addiction issues or any kind of mental health crisis, or they might be like live in the same house as someone who has mental health issues. Like it all. So they get to come and do free arts programming. And it's anything from like, Jeff doing painting to theater to improv comedy. And then I've helped run a music workshop. I'm not the only musician. Like there's other musicians who have done other things, but I'll do mine, and we call it Songs from the Willow. And so like when I'm teaching them how to write music, very often it starts with a meditation to just let the subconscious mind tell us.
Wander and
tell
be
you,
open.
Yeah, exactly. To open up and that works every time for me. Like, but the big thing with that exercise is to actually honor what your subconscious mind is telling you. Like, we have a tendency maybe to censor ourselves.
We're like, shh, quiet it.
Ooh,
like,
why am I
quiet it
thinking about
down.
that?
Yeah, turn it off.
And I always say, like, my example is like, would you tell Paul McCartney to turn quiet when he was writing, like, who's that knocking at the door? Who's that ringing a bell? Like any of his big cheesy songs, right? That became massive hits and make people feel good.
Yeah.
No matter how fluffy they are, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
But that's another method for me for like writing and just kind of like letting it flow out. And it's hard. It's kind of a hard exercise, like, because you have to like not censor yourself. Like you have to just let it happen.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the outcome's going to be.
Right.
Like David Lynch did something similar where he called it seeds. Like he was like, your subconscious mind is giving you a seed and it's your duty now to water that seed. if you do not water that seed, you are getting rid of possibly one of the greatest ideas you've ever had.
Right.
You know, like you are pushing it away.
Yeah.
And how do you know what it's even going to look like until you water it? You know, like
listen to it, nurture it,
exactly.
open to it. Yeah.
That was when I heard him say that, I was like, oh man, that's so David Lynch.
I
like,
get it.
and Twin Peaks, you can see where that came from for him, right?
For
like,
sure.
So
Yeah.
no one told him to
Quiet down, quiet his mind.
Exactly. Yeah.
You bring such an interesting pack, and I think it can be carried on into like a therapeutic situation, but I think you were kind of like explaining how music is a language, right? So like without the words, like you're always, you're playing with the music and you're kind of like seeing like what resonates to you or how it's going to make other people feel. And I think that's really interesting that it sounds like to me that like that's your language between your between your friendships, right? Like you build language based on music. So your communication style is surrounded by just like the melody part. So like the words come secondary. Is what I'm hearing from you. And I think that, and then using that as like a therapy. And then the other thing I was thinking is it's crazy as like a free thinker, as an entrepreneur, a business person, as, maybe not I'm writing lyrics, but it is really interesting because I do spend sometimes trying to quiet my thoughts because I'm like, they have to be linear, right? But I think if you are open to the subconscious mind and you are open to like, the environment around you kind of like giving you these answers or these seeds like you're talking about, I think it's so powerful. And I think maybe society spends a little too much time telling us to like stop those thoughts.
Oh yeah. I mean, we see
you end up thinking like you're wandering, your brain's wandering. Stay focused,
Yeah. Oh, I mean, look at social media. Like I don't know how many minutes you guys have wasted on social media. Like I'm like, what am I doing? Like I just actually did myself a disservice. Like,
you're feeding yourself instead of letting yourself explore.
I'm consuming something that's not even me. Like that's.
We talk a lot with our I have like a growth coach programming, and they spend a lot of time just saying like spend time in white noise, like just spend time empty space where you're just like letting ideas come into you. And sometimes you feel like you ran a marathon, but then there'll be these nuggets that come out and you're like, that was genius.
I did it, and this is awesome. I did a songwriting workshop with Brian Eno, again one of my heroes. And here I am like sitting in my studio and Brian is on my computer screen talking back at me.
Right.
And a thousand other people. But
that's my coaching situation too.
Yeah. And it's a great thing. It's like
mastermind.
Totally. Yeah. And other people can come in and talk and stuff. But one of his big things was, he was very like, you guys like get off your phones. Don't consume Amazon, Facebook. Those guys just want you to consume. Like he was big on that, but he said, here's an exercise you can do. When you wake up in the morning, consume only yourself for like the first hour, if you can do it. Yeah. And so people are like, what does that mean? So don't go on your phone, obviously. Mm-hmm. But he even said, don't even like drink coffee or eat. Let just consume whatever is going on in your mind.
Right.
Like so,
don't distract it. Don't
don't touch anything. Don't read a book. Don't like watch TV. Don't like just
don't
sit
get
there.
up, start running around the house screaming, yelling for your kids to wake up. Are you sure?
So this is a hard exercise for parents, right? Like I have not been able to do this, but my good friend Dave, I told Dave this, and he's able to do this. And he's like, Joe, it works. It really works. Like I'm like writing lots of music first thing in the morning. Like I'm like,
and your brain's fresh. It's like high alert. You're not tired.
And you've just left this subconscious
dream
sleep
world.
So like, of course, there could be remnants of that, right?
Totally.
Right.
And you might as well write it all down. Who knows what it will mean in the end? Yeah. But that's like. Yeah, just consume yourself. That's
Love
it.
That.
And you know who Jeff Farnsworth is, someone who only consumes himself, right? Like when you look at his paintings, it's like that's from his mind.
Yeah.
Like there's no other influences going on in that artwork. No. I love his art for that reason. It's like, that is just Jeff.
Yeah.
There's no one else who's creating that art,
Yeah, it's so distinctive.
Yeah, exactly.
So
You know right away.
distinctive. Yeah.
Yep, that's Jeff. Yep.
Yep.
And it's all from like, the three of us know him. So, some of your listeners may not know who Jeff is, but like when you meet him, it's like, oh yeah, that I get it now. I see like
Putting the artist with the work.
Totally.
Oh, yeah,
totally. Yeah, it's
totally.
awesome. Yeah.
We love him.
Yeah.
So yeah, how has your this is like kind of specifically to your production, how does that kind of changed over the years or evolved into what you're doing? And actually I was thinking about this just in all production about like technology. I'm really on like a technology train right now.
Yeah.
Kind of learning all the different options that are out there, and I think it's just so amazing. So yeah, I was wondering how that applied to your music production over the years.
Like how technology has changed?
Yeah,
or...
like how the difference between, how you used to produce to how you're now. You said you used a cassette tape attached to your Yamaha.
Yeah.
Start with all like analog stuff. And
and how's it
now
going
we're
now?
digital
Yeah.
world.
I mean, for me, I think it's always been about like, ooh, what can I do now? Like, or how can I use these tools to build my ideas. That's all. Anytime I start getting lost in the amount of technology that exists within the software that I'm using, especially I use Logic Pro for all like a lot of my production work.
Okay, I was gonna ask
and
that. Yeah.
it has so much. There's so much, right? So I've learned over the years to just it's cool to get to know those tools. So I will spend time like getting to know that these tools even exist, you know, see if anything sparks for me. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And maybe sometimes that spark doesn't happen till like 2 years later type thing. But for me, it's always like, okay, what tools can I use to create my vision, like create my music? And yeah, sure. Like when I was a kid, it was the Radio Shack cassette recorder. And then my dad was kind of is a bit of a hi-fi guy. So he had two really nice cassette decks that you could record on 2-track, like treat them as 2-track recorders.
Wow.
So I would record something on one, then bounce it to the other, and then record again, and kind of like what a 4-track recorder is, where you're bouncing like tracks to other tracks. I was doing that with his cassette recorder. So I love that.
Wow.
But then honestly, like when I bought a computer and learned how to use a DAW, I think the first one I used was Nuendo. It was like, this is awesome. This is great. Like I can like
so much faster.
But it was still so much faster, and the quality, I'm not sure if the quality was good, but it was more about I do want to layer lots of acoustic guitars to create. I do want to layer lots of like that digital world, right, where it was endless.
I remember I found like I didn't even know what they were at the time, and then I found the first like an audio interface. It was just it was like a Roland. It had 2 inputs, and I was like, wait, like this goes right into my computer, and that blew my mind. And then it made things so much easier from there.
Totally. And I mean, that's when your creativity starts to bubble, like, oh, what can I do with this, and that's the way I've always rolled. Like a lot of my the bands that I would really be influenced by like later in my life, like bands like the Flaming Lips, for example. I'm a huge fan of them.
Oh, we saw them last year.
Art Park?
No, at Oceaga.
Oh, okay.
Montreal.
Yeah, nice.
We were front row.
What a show, eh?
They did the Pink Robot.
I saw them
the
at Art Park, and they did the same thing at Art Park last summer.
It was so good.
What a band. They've always blown me away live, but in the studio, they just don't limit themselves to what they can do, and I just love that. So I think for me, as it's progressed, I also see the value in limitations. So as time went on, I began feeling, okay, I have to actually start limiting myself so I can actually focus in on maybe like, so back in the day, they would be recording to an 8-track or 16-track or 24-track, and that's all they had.
Right.
So they would make decisions based on those limitations that were usually quick decisions, like decisions they had to make now, where they didn't have the luxury to sit on 102 tracks on in their DAW and decide which takes they were going to use.
Right.
But I also feel like the length of the LP kind of restricted a lot of things too. You wanted to fit on one side, and now anybody who releases an album, it always ends up being like a double vinyl because it's too long.
I love both albums that I put out on vinyl. I love that I had the limitation of like 20 minutes aside or 18 minutes aside, whatever. And I loved that. And that was like, so those limitations I think are really valuable, like as an artist, to kind of say, all right, it stops here. And then also like in the studio, okay, sure, we can do like 500 vocal takes.
How many hours are you going to spend?
You totally can. And, it depends on who I'm working with. Some folks really, they too agree that we should, be knocking this out in 2, 3, 4, 5 vocal takes, for example. And then there's other artists who like really go and are developing what their vocal is on the spot, like Adam Buller, a good example.
Totally.
I've been lucky to work with him many times, and we've spent days on one song's vocal take. And it's because he's developing it as we go, and I can hear it. And we work together to kind of find like what is the best representation of this song through your vocal.
Well, and he has so much diversity, so he's like, let me try it this way, let me try it this way, let me try it this way, let me try it this way.
And then we spend
so much
like
creativity,
hours just going through all the takes, which is something. So it just depends, I guess. But for me, I do like setting some limitations. And then so digital, but I've also got analog equipment too. So like where we're sending what's in the box, like what's in the computer, through basically what would be an analog console, and then back into the computer.
Okay.
So, and for me, that's like, well, when I listen to my favorite albums, chances are they're going through a console, and that's what kind of glues it together and makes it sound cohesive and like kind of packaged together.
Yeah, people always used to say that, like, oh, this board sounds so great, and you're like, it's the board, it's just kind of running stuff through. But they would have a preference that this one sounds good, this one sounds bad. So
yeah, exactly. And it does like wrap the music like wrapping paper, like it does like box it into it packages it. That's the only way I can kind of describe it. Like for me, and luckily there's companies like my favorite recording console, but I don't think I could ever afford one in my life, is like a Neve console. Like Neve is like one of the biggest, Neve revolutionized recording consoles in the 70s, and then only passed away like 3 or 4 years ago. So it was making recording equipment up until then. And he and his company said, well, we have a lot of people who can't afford the big console, but let's try and put a whole console into like one rack unit and call it a summing mixer. So that's what I use. So essentially I'm going through a big console, but it doesn't have all the knobs and faders. It's just the signal chain. Anyway, I love all that, and it worked. Like, to my ear, it's like, yep, it's doing what I want it to do, and it sounds great. Other people, I've talked to other producers and who aren't sold on that and are fine working completely in the box. And I don't know, everyone's different. It's all good. But I don't know. It's never ending, I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
yeah.
could be in there
Equipment.
forever.
Well, I've never even really gotten into like rack gear, and that was always something. Like I'm pretty, I guess, bare bones instruments and whatever I got here. But all the rack stuff, I'm just like, what is that even doing?
Yeah.
It does a lot of good stuff, but like you just find because there's companies who make emulators of that rack gear, right? Like Universal Audio makes like plugins that sound like the rack gear. So for some people, it's like that's all they need.
It's all, it's enough, right?
So I don't know. It all depends on what you're hearing and what you want to do.
Yeah.
And what your bank account looks like.
Unfortunately,
That too,
Oh my God, yeah.
So you've been such a pillar in the Niagara music scene for so many years. What do you think makes it so special?
In Niagara, oh man. There's so many great people. There's so many great musicians.
Yeah.
So that goes without saying, but there's also like always a sense of newness, I find. Like there's always like a new scene developing.
Like new artists or new
new
venues?
artists coming out and like new groups of musicians who are like working together.
Right.
I don't know, like, and some
It's
new
fun.
venues,
Yeah.
and like there's always this newness, and it's always been the case. Like even when I was younger, I noticed like there was a couple punk clubs that were in downtown St. Catharines. That
Red
I wasn't
Square?
old. Well, like no, before then, like there was the Jerry's Alley is like an old school
Wow, I've never heard of
punk
that.
bar.
I wonder if your
It's
parents
torn
would know
down.
that.
Yeah,
They
I think
probably-
my dad knows about it.
Yeah.
yeah.
They were in the
heard
punk
about that.
scene in like the 70s, right?
Yeah.
Jerry's
70s,
Alley
80s.
would have been where they went.
Okay.
And like I always noticed there was like I was too young to go in, but I'd read the posters on the outside of it,
Yeah.
and even then I noticed like there'd be like new bands popping up all the time, and I guess that happens in other communities, other cities, but like I think that's something that I really like that keeps me here is that there's always something new happening. There's always like growth happening.
Yeah.
And it always has a sense of like we're doing this for the first time. You know, like there's like a feeling like we're doing this for the first time.
Yeah,
and
new
I
show,
love that.
new lineup, new festival.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and like
I like that. I like the size of it too. I feel like,
Yeah.
we go into like even going to Hamilton, I'm like, oh, this is big. Like, I feel like the Niagara scene is really nice because we all kind of still know each other, It's
Yep.
small enough that like there's a lot of camaraderie and a lot of like, collaboration, but it's still big enough that there's enough going on, right? That you're not like, oh, like you said,
not
that
the same
newness,
old-
right?
Yeah.
There's still like new up and coming venues or shows or festivals and
I also like how people support each other here.
Yeah.
Like there's always been great support.
Yeah, people are coming out for local stuff for
Yeah.
each other, which is really nice.
Yep. And I wish at the moment there was a few more venues.
Yeah.
Like, there's things that I wish for quite often, and that's one of
There's
them.
like
And
there's
some varying
never-
in sizes, We got like the OLG, and then everything else fits, 50 people.
Well, there was
Yeah.
never
There needs to
really
be middle
venues
stuff,
in Niagara Falls. Like we're hard for places to play music. Like St. Catharines has always had venues.
St. Catharines because they
Thorold.
have university, right? Like we got some good
And
stuff
Niagara
in St.
Falls
Catharines.
never really had anything. If there's a show, we were going somewhere else.
Yeah.
But St. Catharines, right, currently, the venues that exist are good, but like I feel like we could use a couple more.
Yeah, we need
like,
more.
That
I wonder if
attract-
the university students are going out to music venues.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah. You would know more than us.
Yeah,
in
I
St.
think-
Catharines.
But there's a couple like I play in a band called the Woodshed Orchestra, and we used to play the Merchant Ale House like once every 2 months, and we'd pack the place. It would just be like people drinking, having fun. It was a lot of university students at the time, and they just wanted to dance their faces off because we were playing dance music.
Yeah, that's
And,
great.
But that's missing right now. There isn't a place where you can go and dance your face off to a band who's playing dance music that I know of.
Yep.
I don't know of that.
Yeah.
at least that kind of music. Like we were playing like funk and like New Orleans style music. Like, you know, LMT Connection used to play what 3 times a week for the longest time, and you knew guaranteed
Mansion
like
House.
Mansion House. And then here in the Falls, what was the venue in the Falls like for the longest time?
Was it the Local?
No, way before the Local.
Okay.
Oh, was it Cats? No.
Oh yeah, they played at Cats a whole bunch. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Anyways, they're amazing.
Anyway,
they're so good.
They
so
were
fun.
They were a big influence of mine. Like when I was learning how to be a musician, like how to be an entertainer.
Yeah,
It's
getting
like,
on stage and like lighting up a place.
How you do
LMT
it.
killed it.
Totally.
Yeah,
Moran's
they were
Project
my
too,
favorite thing to dance to.
Moran's Project?
Project.
Yeah.
Megan just sent
fun.
someone too recently. Oh, the Smoothies. Do you remember the Smoothies?
Yeah, Smoothies. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, they just played the other day somewhere. I was like,
I
go
opened for
dance.
them. I opened for them. Yeah. They played concerts on the canal.
Oh yeah.
On
that
Friday
was the show.
night.
Oh, that was Friday.
Yeah. And I was like they're booking. Aaron Berger's doing a lot of the booking.
Oh yeah.
And he's so they're doing an original band to start the night. So that was me and Dave. So we did a duo. And then the
I wish I would
Smoothies
have
played.
went. I got an invite. I should have went.
It was great. Yeah, I hadn't seen the Smoothies
such a
for a
cool
long
venue,
time.
too.
And that, playing on the water. Sure. I'll
That
do it.
venue's amazing.
It's really cool. As long as we don't float away.
Oh my god!
For sure.
Did they do the light up like torches? Did they
I don't
light the
think
torches?
so.
Oh,
No,
okay.
not that I.
You would have noticed.
We would have noticed.
There's
they did
like
not do that.
bonfires floating on the water.
really?
It was crazy. Yeah.
They might do that for Canada Day. I think this was the
maybe
first
like a bigger
one.
one. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And how? Yeah, it was good. Well attended.
Yeah. There was a good crowd, and people liked what I was doing, and
Fun.
yeah, Smoothies were fun.
Yeah, Smoothies are so fun.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Cool. Can you tell us about a favorite collaboration that's lasted a lifetime?
Oh,
Wow.
geez. Well,
Very poetic question.
yeah, I like it. Well, I mean, I've been talking about him, my buddy Dave. Yeah. Like we've collaborated for, I think, since we're going on 20 years for sure.
Wow.
Maybe more. And that was kind of like, it's a collaboration, but he's been a mentor to me too, but I'm not sure if he would want me calling him a mentor, that type of thing. But like, he's taught me a lot about recording music, how to run a band, how to tour, how to deal with other musicians, how to be a band leader. He's and we've collaborated on a lot of music together. So, and whether it's my music and the Woodshed Orchestra, which I mentioned, is his band. So, and that's like really heavily influenced by New Orleans music. So I'd have my style of music, and then I'd fly over to his band and I'd just be playing kind of like funk type stuff or jazzy type tunes. And I love New Orleans as well. Like that's like, you want to talk about community.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that city is
the music.
just phenomenal.
Crazy place.
So wild.
Have you guys been there before?
We were there once.
Oh, yeah.
For
We just
like,
went to a music festival.
we were only there for like 2 or 3 days.
Voodoo?
and-
Have you heard of that festival
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Voodoo Festival.
yeah, but we went out the Saturday night and
I think we went out every night.
You can't not.
Yeah. You're
Until
like, we're
5 in the
here. We gotta
morning or
go.
whatever.
We gotta go.
Yeah, it's my favorite, one of my favorite cities of all time.
It's a really cool cultural mix too, which that's why you get that like unbelievable music, you know, because there's such like a culture there.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Anyway, that's like, I mean, I think I ended up there because of Dave's influence. Like, just like, yeah, you should go there. Like, I know he got married there. Like him and his wife got married there.
Amazing.
It's like, okay, I gotta head down there. And then I went down there and I'm like, oh yeah, now I get it. And I've gone like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times.
You just went on vacation?
Yeah, exactly. And my family and I went last year for the first time as a family. So Alexa and I, my wife and I, have been a couple times before.
Yeah.
So we brought our daughter.
What'd she think of it?
She loved it.
Yeah.
Oh man, she's been
Wild.
listening to that music her whole life.
Right.
So like we even have this big poster of it's a poster from Jazz Fest that happens down there.
Yeah.
And it's got a great musician called Buckwheat Zydeco on the poster. It's a silkscreen poster, and it's playing. So it's Buckwheat playing his accordion. So since she was a little bit since she could talk, she'd point at the poster and go, "Are we going there? Or can I hear that music?" And yeah, really sweet. Anyway, yeah, New Orleans.
So much fun.
But getting back to collaboration,
Yeah.
man, yeah, Dave's a big one, and I think like for me, I'm lucky because I get to collaborate with like everyone that I'm working with.
Yeah.
So there's always a collaboration. Like recently, it's with the band Minuscule.
I was just going to ask you about that. I'm like, did I see a picture of you and Laurel together?
Yeah, so Laurel sings in my group, like so she sings on my album, and actually several members of Minuscule are on this record.
Wow.
And have performed live with me, and
Crazy.
And Laurel, yeah, she's been in my group. She was on my previous album, so we've been working together forever. And I've seen,
because that was a while ago, like 2013, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And she,
yeah, I think you were asking who the
Yeah, I
girl
was
vocal
curious
was.
who the-
Yeah, I
who
can't
was
believe I
singing
didn't
on there.
recognize her voice on it. That's right.
yeah, she's on it with Whitney P, who goes by Whitney Fowler now, but like Whitney Peterson at the time, and who's an amazing musician too. Like she put out some great records and put out a children's album a couple years ago. That was really great.
I remember Rita telling me about that. That's awesome.
Like just really. So it was those two on that previous album, and Whitney couldn't be involved for this record. So, I mean, I've been working with Minuscule. I play bass in that group once in a while too with Minuscule.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, okay, can all of you sing on my record? And everyone was like, yep, let's do it.
Wow.
So, yeah, super lucky.
That's so
but
great.
that's a collaboration I'm really excited about.
Yeah. It's so
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, such a great band. Yeah.
Cool. Most memorable performance.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I've got a few for sure. Like I've gotten to like open up for some of my heroes, which is pretty amazing.
That's
like
awesome.
Yeah.
I opened up for Daniel Lanois once, and he's one of my heroes for sure. If you don't know him, he like produced The Joshua Tree by U2. You know, like let's just name one thing that he's done.
Yeah.
And or like So by Peter Gabriel. Like he's producer. Anyway, so I got to open up for him. But like getting back, the Rheostatics, like huge influence of mine. And they asked me, every year they were doing a run of like, I don't know, 10 shows at the Horseshoe.
Oh, wow.
For a while there, they were doing 15 shows, and whatever they could book, they would do them all in a row.
Wow.
So I think it was...
And the best venue.
And it's the Horseshoe.
I love that
it's
venue.
Like, you know, you think of everyone, Stompin' Tom, like you think it's such a classic venue.
It's a classic venue.
So here's Rheostatics, who are like legends in that room themselves.
Yeah.
And they asked me to open up for them. And I'm not from Toronto. Like I felt like an outsider. It was like, really? You're inviting me?
Yeah.
And so...
Did they tell you like when they like came across you or like when you met them?
It was because of Dave. So Dave was in the band.
Right.
He was my inside, but like it still had the band like agreed, like, get Joe out.
Yeah,
let's do
that's awesome.
And so that alone was like, I can't believe this is happening.
You're like I'm
this
famous.
is just like so good.
Yeah.
So I'm done my set. And like it's already like I'm floating, like I'm just floating along. Like, yep, I can probably end.
I can die
my
now.
career can end right now. This is great. I've done it. The audience loved what I did.
Amazing.
I even had Martin Tielli from the Rios come up and play guitar on a tune. Dave joined me. It was like, this is amazing. This is unreal.
Yeah.
And I go backstage, open the door. I'm like just high from life. And guess who's standing there? Gord Downey's standing there, and it's like, oh my, okay. So he was watching from the side stage.
Oh my god!
cool. And like
You
Dave,
just faint.
Dave's played with him a lot. So Dave was like, and I had met Gord a couple times before then already,
Wow.
but like, I was just like, this night, how did this get better? Like, I don't know how it could have gotten better, and it just did.
Yeah.
And then we
Oh
ended
my
up talking, and he had just put out Secret Path,
Okay.
which is such a heavy duty record, and you know, that story of Channy Wenjack, like, you know, basically leaving a residential school and going into the cold and dying, right? Really heavy duty. And I thought immediately when that record came out, I'm like, every school needs to teach the story. Like, if you want people to learn the truth, you know, like this would be a good record to start with.
Yeah.
And there was a movie that went with it. Anyway, when I saw him, I thanked him for that. And it was like, thank you so much. And he was like very humble about it. And then we got talking about other things, and just like, okay, this is a gig that I could, this is it.
That's a great story.
Went home and like, what else could happen? Like, what else could happen to me right now? Yeah. Anyway, that was a good one. Yeah.
That's amazing. Can you obviously we've seen you play live, but yeah, can you talk about the difference in energy with a live performance versus the recording?
Yeah. Well, you know, I think recording, you're always trying to capture that live feeling. But it's hard to do unless you're doing it live off the floor, like, which a lot of my records are usually done piece by piece.
Yeah.
Like, we just build the songs from the ground up.
Yeah.
My next record, though, I know I want to do it live off the floor, because I just want to shift the sound of it, shift like how it's delivered.
That's so much pressure.
It is. It's a lot more work leading up to it, but then once it's done, it's like, oh, it's done.
That's true.
Right? There's no.
You just record it on the spot. Yeah.
So like all the writing and rehearsing needs to be done, and then you do it.
Totally.
But live, nothing beats live. Like when you're playing your music.
Yeah.
And it's the band is feeling it, and everyone's feeling it. The audience is feeling it. There's nothing beats that. At all. Like, it's just the reason I think a lot of musicians do it is for that feeling. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We keep talking about wanting to do a podcast about just the like energy of live music. I'm like, can we actually do it justice? Like, what words do you use to describe that experience? There aren't any.
No, it's so true.
It's the like, craziest, like, you know, it's like you're being like, I don't know. Yeah. Exercise? No, what's the, you know?
Totally. And
you're
like,
transformed. It's wild.
Like, how many shows have you guys gone to where afterwards you're leaving it going, what did I just witness?
Happened?
Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And that's like, to me,
you're in a
the
trance.
goal. Like, as a performer, like, that's what I want to be giving to the audience.
Yeah.
And I loved feeling that myself. And
and it comes back again to that like language transfer, right? Like it's a communication form between like the performer and the audience. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a dancer, and it doesn't it's not the same. That like live music.
Right. Yeah, watching a live dance performance, it's not the same.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Amanda about that. I'm like, I need to get myself positioned to a situation where I can have live music with the dancers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'm there. I love it. I've done a lot of improv music to dance.
I actually finally I took the first step because we got Lakeshore Catholic, which has a orchestra pit in like the bottom of the stage. So I'm like, step one, Lakeshore.
Yeah. And you can have like, I've done a lot of work in theater. You can have the musicians on stage with you too. Like, consider that as well. It's a fun thing.
Yeah,
like when
so
it's
exciting.
all becomes one thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We were talking about it off air, but we had done the work with Rod Standish.
Yeah.
And then we also did a production with Adam, like where we were dancing and the music was happening. So yeah, I'm hoping it's a hard element with kids, because kids are a little more like unpredictable, and you know it's training them to be like good enough really to like put on a Broadway like that. So yeah, hopefully
it's gonna
happen.
You'll find it for sure.
What was your vision behind starting Wow Recording Studio? I don't know. Were we off air when you were talking about your building in the back?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell our listeners about your recording studio.
Yeah, well, it's it's many spaces. I love when I was kind of developing my skills as a recording engineer, I always found myself recording in spaces like basements, barns, churches, other people's houses, old vintage houses. So when I was kind of like developing this business plan, basically, like that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Like,
you're like, can I do this as a full-time job?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It all kind of revolved around that. But I do have a home base. So I do have a studio that's in my backyard, and and it's big enough to record a band in as well. But that's where I do all the mixing and pre-production, post-production work, or recording whole records back there. Yeah. But I do love finding other spaces. So I mentioned one of my heroes, Daniel Lanois. Like he records in like old mansions or like buildings. Like I think he owns in Toronto, he owns a space that used to be a mosque. And all the walls are curved. Wow. Like he's like turned it into a studio.
Must be wild.
Yeah, it's just awesome. So
bouncy?
Or not bouncy, you know? Like,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he's probably treated it.
I would assume it would be bouncy, but yeah, I guess if you.
I'm sure he's treated it like with acoustic panels and stuff.
Right.
But that, like for me, I love that. So like I've done a lot of work with the Great Lake Swimmers, and Tony and Great Lake Swimmers, him and I are two peas in the pod in that world. Like the first Great Lake Swimmers record was recorded in a grain silo. And I remember hearing that when it came out and thinking, I want to work with that guy. Like that's the kind of stuff I like doing.
Yeah.
And then years later we would start working together.
Wow.
And we've recorded on anywhere from like huge barns to little tiny chapels to huge churches to the edge of a cliff. Like we've recorded along Lake Superior, like where we just found spots along Lake Superior and recorded music outside. Exactly, everything.
Okay.
And I love that. So I run a recording studio, but like it's more about I like introducing these ideas to artists, you know. Yeah. So in a couple weeks I'm working with a band called Disastra. Have you guys seen Disastra yet?
No.
They're an awesome band, like all-girl band, local. I describe their music as like AC/DC meets maybe the White Stripes a little bit, like kind of like blues rock, but
fun,
but heavy.
Yeah.
And Disastra, and what a great name.
Yeah, what a great name, especially for girls.
Yeah, it's so great. And you know, they came to me saying, we want to work with you, and I said, well, I heard their music and it was, we should record at the Oddfellows Hall, you know, because I know that room sounds great for rock and roll. Anything loud sounds awesome in that room.
Yeah, it's got those big vaulted.
So, it's the ceiling's all shaped like an old recording studio. It's not flat. It's got like
I didn't even notice
it's got
that.
a weird shape to it. Yeah,
cool.
And then
I remember the sound being so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And they're into it. So that's kind of like that's what I do. And then we record there, but then we bring it back to my home studio.
Right.
And do maybe more overdubs there and mix it there.
Right.
And
how do you get into those spaces?
I just ask. Like, I don't know.
They're like, I'm Joe Lapinski. Let me in this place.
You can rent. Well, the Oddfellows Hall, you can rent it. Anyone can rent it. So you can like do a dance. You can put a show on there.
Yeah.
And
it's a cool venue.
It's really cool. The Oddfellows, one of their mandates is to support the arts community. Okay. Like that's one of their jobs.
Yeah, I remember when we were there performing, I was thinking like, what is this place? And like, what was it before? And what does it operate
It's always been the Oddfellows Hall. They built it. The Oddfellows built that building, and they've never left.
Who are the Oddfellows?
They're like a subsidiary to the Freemasons.
Okay.
They're like this little. So there's all the symbolism throughout the all-seeing eye is
Yes.
there, all the
Yes.
paintings, but they're like a very specific arm of the Freemasons where it's just community-based
I've heard
things,
about
like
that. Cool.
where they raise money. They help raise money for people in need as well.
Wow.
Yeah, they're great folks.
Like the Masons without the secrecy.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, who knows? I don't know. Maybe
Maybe they are secret.
You know. But yeah, I don't know. With
I
spaces,
don't know what they do in their off time.
Yeah, exactly. With spaces like that, though, for me, what I've learned is you just ask. So,
Cool, that's so great.
I went to Balls Falls, went for a hike one day, and I saw the big barn there. And I've gone to weddings there before, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna ask someone if I can rent that to record music in. And sure enough, yeah, sure, you guys can do it. So yeah, Great Lake Swimmers, we recorded a whole bunch of music there in the little chapel and the big barn, like all within 100 feet from each other. It's like, cool, let's change the sound and go into the chapel and record some music there. And I just love it.
So
and
fun.
I just asked, and yeah,
Power
of course
with
you
the
can
water wheel.
Yeah, exactly. yeah, totally. No, you know what was great about that location, because you're in a forest basically, right?
Yeah.
At night, the coyotes would sing, like if they heard us play music, we'd end a take and you'd hear the
Start
coyotes
howling? Wow.
because they were reacting to what we were doing.
Nice.
And it
That's
was
so
so cool.
wild.
And then they'd stop, and then we'd make some more music, and then
They would echo.
yeah,
Wow.
so cool. Yeah,
I think it comes back to that, like what you were saying too about like the newness in an environment, right? So like I think, yeah, of course there's sound and that's what you're going for when you're recording, but I think just there's like the inspiration of being in a new, different
That's it.
setting too, right? It's not,
That's it.
you're also getting that like motivated and like inspiration from, whatever setting you're in as you as the player, right? You're just like, oh, we're in this new crazy place, like it's going to motivate us to like play differently.
I swear by that, because like it really changed the artist and myself. Like we kind of let the space be a character
Influence.
in the music, like an influence in the
for
music.
sure.
And it's usually like, I don't think I've had a bad session. Like it's usually quite great what happens.
Yeah.
Sure, there might be tears, there might be laughter,
Right.
but something
It's about
happens.
the experience.
Yeah.
We're about to do some road shows because we're doing a whole bunch of traveling. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's going to be like that for us.
Yeah.
We're going to have
cool.
these great podcasts because we were going to be
Yeah, I want to set it
recording
up
from
in our camper.
in our camper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah,
going to be in
do
our
it.
little camper.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, everything's mobile, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's-
totally.
Yeah, totally. And then we're going to Peru for a month. So I don't know. Maybe
Wow.
maybe our podcast will be in Spanish.
That'd be cool.
If we learn it before then.
AI will handle it.
Amazing. I was gonna ask you about the mobile recording. I think
Yeah.
that's so fun. That's great.
It's great. Yeah.
Have you ever, I mean, I don't know how to ask this politically correct, but have you decided not to work with people?
Oh.
Are you selective? Are you like yes, no, yes, no?
Not well. I think like when most of the people I work with, I'm usually reaching out to them.
Okay.
So, like by going to shows, seeing them, or seeing something they've done on social media, or like meeting them through other groups, or
Okay.
So that's usually how I meet folks.
Okay.
Most of the artists I've worked with have been like that way. Like so, Laurel's a great example. How did I meet Laurel? Well, I was playing my music at the Mansion House. I think it was like an original music night, like a Wednesday night or a Thursday night.
Right.
And then she was there with Whitney P as a duo playing Whitney's music. And
Right.
both of us, our two groups were opening up for another band who was from Toronto. And then right away, like instantly, cool, we should work together. I liked your music. I like your music. Like it was just like kind of instant, right?
Okay.
So I've been lucky that way. If people reach out to me to record music, I usually do ask, like, can I hear some of it?
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it's usually if it's music that I don't think I would do a good job
justice.
at.
Yeah. Okay.
And because I've had some folks reach out with genres of music that, sure, I'd love to do it, but I'm not sure if I'm the best person for it. And I would always like refer them to someone else.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, sure. There've been a few projects along the way, and
Not
only
like
a
America's
few.
Got Talent.
Yeah. It's never been that extreme.
I know.
But there has been a few where like I find myself recording with them and I'm like, oh, maybe this wasn't a good idea.
This is a bad idea.
I can tell one story. Do you want to hear a story? I don't
we
even know
love
who these people are.
stories.
It was so long ago, and I don't think that maybe they're still in jail. I don't know. Okay, there was a country band, and I love country. It has nothing to do with the genre. In fact, that's why I said yes to these guys. Like, I love old country. They had a pedal steel player. I'm a pedal steel player myself. Like, I just wanted to absorb these guys. And I didn't know anything about them personally. Okay, so, and they wanted to record a live album at what is now Zoos.
Safari Niagara?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they've got a little stage there.
Yeah.
It's not little, it's actually
huge.
quite big.
It's like an amphitheater.
So they had a gig there and they wanted to record it. And I'm like, cool. Are people going to be there? Like, are we going to hear a crowd cheering? And they're like, well, we're going to add that in later. Okay. So we recorded and there weren't many people there. And it was fun. Like, I had a good time. But I could tell, like, a couple of the guys I wasn't really vibing with very well. And so I mixed the record for them. And I went to deliver it to them. And I got to one of the guys' houses, and his wife said, "Oh, he's back in jail." Okay.
Oh my God!
So
well, can you give him this?
I know. And then they wanted me to add crowd noise in between every song.
Yeah.
And which isn't such a weird request. Like sometimes you do that just to fill it out a bit more, right?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you're doing a live recording type of
But this was extreme. I gave them samples of like what the crowd could be. So it was like, okay, here's a crowd of 200 people or 100 people. And then as a joke, I played them Wembley Stadium, like 50,000 people cheering.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's the one. So this live recording, and it's them playing country music with a 50,000 person audience.
Stadium country rock.
In between every song too. And Buddy went to jail, and I did get paid. I think his wife paid me.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go. That was a situation where I was like, I don't know if I should have done this. I'm not sure if I should have done this. But
I should have put my name on this.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's probably playing it in jail to all his buddies. Like that was his last, last hope before he went back to jail.
And I
That's
didn't even ask for
story.
what. Like I had no idea.
I didn't even want to know.
Didn't want to know.
Yeah, because you were working with them. Hilarious. Well, that was a great story. I think on that note, we're ready for a break.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we can take a break.
We'll be
back.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here's a tune of mine called On the Line from my new album called New Day. Here we go. Every now and then I feel a little out of sorts, pushing while I'm pulling out delusion that distorts. But it's okay, honey, I got it all under control. No need to be worried while I loop and then unroll. There's a juggler down the street who's got it really figured out, conjuring illusions that all things are without doubt. But me, I'm standing on a rope that's in a tug of war, balancing duality, you look on it abhor. Look at me, I'm walking on a line. I balance between what's next and left behind. I'm feeling good, although largely misaligned. I'll be pushing the clouds to reveal the sunshine. Look at my life, look at my life. me that I'm walking on the line. But I couldn't sell you on the thought that I'd be fine. Sure, I'm flopping up and down, but I'm tethered to a tree. I'm sorry that you're feeling that I'm far from living free. Look at me, I'm walking on a line. I bounce between what's next and left behind. I'm feeling good, although largely misaligned. I'll be pushing the clouds to reveal the sunshine. Make it clear now. Brush it off now. Move to the beat now. I'm off the line. I'm off the line. Do the work now. Make it work now. Move to the beat now. I'm off the line. I'm off the line. I'm off the line. I'm off the line. Hey. Yes.
So good.
That was awesome.
Oh, your
Thanks,
voice
guys.
is just so like organic and natural. I
Yeah,
love
cool.
it.
Thank you.
So awesome.
Love
Job.
this guitar.
Yeah, it's cool.
What did Gizzy call it? A Japanese knockoff or something?
Something like that.
Japanese ovation.
Ovation,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly what he said.
The ovation
yeah.
knockoff, yeah.
Yeah.
Japanese ovation, ovation knockoff.
Well, hey,
Hilarious.
if John Denver can play one, why can't we?
yeah. That was my parents' wedding song. John Denver. Good guy.
Really good guy. Yeah.
Are you you're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, sweet. All right. Well, yeah, I was curious, if you what you would think, like kind of, advice that you have for young musicians in Niagara kind of getting started out.
Yeah. Play. Like, get out there.
Right.
Just play. Do as much playing as possible. Go to other people's shows, book gigs. Doesn't really matter where. At the start, you'll figure it out. Figure out where you like to play, where you don't like to play. Go play open mics too. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's where you meet other people like yourself who maybe you want to do a show together or start a band together. Yeah, it's just about building that community. And it doesn't happen by sitting on your couch. It doesn't. And it doesn't even happen through social media. Like, it definitely does not. You have to be out there. You could link up with someone through like digital means, but nothing beats being in person and jamming and
Totally.
and booking shows. And in Niagara too, like, there's some great spots to go do all that stuff. And like, for me in St. Catharines, the Niagara Artist Center was a spot where I could go to an art opening, but also go see a show and meet lots of people like myself. Mate Cafe still has their open mic night, I think.
Cool.
Every Thursday, I think.
Yep.
Places like that. And just follow your nose,
Yeah, I think that's a
just
good advice
kinda-
to like get out there and put yourself out there.
That's it.
I
And-
will say though, I was very impressed with your social media.
Oh, cool.
I
Great.
can't believe how much you're like putting out there. That's a lot.
Yeah, awesome.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, on top of all the work you're doing and playing and putting your, doing the recording and all these things, like, I think it becomes like just another job for artists,
It totally
right?
is,
That you're just
yeah.
like, oh, now I also have to advertise myself, and
Yeah.
put myself out there on social media. But you're doing a really good job.
Well, I was listening
It's
to
hard.
your episode with Emily
Yeah.
Andrews,
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
a friend,
Yeah.
and you guys were nailing it. Like, or the way Emily and I have talked about it as well, like very similar to what was on your podcast, where it's like, you just kind of have to surrender to that and do it, but also make it fun and make it represent who you are,
right?
You know, so
I think you nailed it. Like, you have to use it as the tool it is, which is like, it's getting you. And really, I mean, if we think about it, it's getting you such like specific demographic exposure, which is wonderful, right? I mean, it's great if somebody in, you know, Vietnam is checking out your stuff. That's awesome. And it really can translate that far when we have these platforms that make it accessible. But yeah, I think it really like speaks to like your local audience when you're like out there in local places doing local things and promoting local shows. So yeah, I give you a lot of credit. I think you're working really hard on top of all the other stuff you're doing to work on yourself and your art. Totally. You're also bringing in that piece of like social media, which is not easy for people. That's sometimes where people just are like, no, I'm not doing it.
Well, it's also it can be so time consuming.
Oh,
and
it's just so time consuming.
What am I doing with this? But I just try and enjoy, like, I like doing video editing. I love producing videos. Like, for my latest single, I just made a video with some friends and we put it out there. Yeah. And I love doing that. So I'm lucky that way, and I've got the equipment to do it and some know-how to do it. Yeah. But it still takes time, though. And no matter how good at it you are, it takes time.
Yeah, it takes so much time, but I think
it's worth it in the end.
And it's non-negotiable now, as far as I'm concerned. Like, same with the dance studio business. I think like that's how people are keeping you like, you know, first in mind or forefront in mind. What's the word? It's a cliche. Front of mind?
Yeah.
Front of mind? Is that a cliche? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's keeping you relevant, right? It's keeping you current, is that they're like, and people are dying. And it's just such an interesting time to be an artist, because people are dying to know what you're doing in your off time. Like, they're thirsty for that, like, association, right? Like, they want to know what you're doing. So,
which I see, like, you know, I keep a lot of things about myself private.
Well, but I was trying to I'm like, does he have a family? Does he have kids? I don't want to talk about this if you don't know about it, you know?
Yeah, and I've decided, like, my wife and I have talked about it, and we've decided, like, I'm going to, like, I sing songs about them. Yeah, you know?
For sure.
And that's there. But I think on social media, for me personally, it's like, no, it's just going to be about me and the people I'm working with. That's it. Like, that's all.
It's professional.
I guess professional, but like also like, more on the professional end of things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. But similar to what you and Emily were talking about, that connection there, you know, that's why you're doing it, to connect with other people.
Especially with people who are supporting you, right?
Yeah, like, supporting you, or like people you didn't know even were there. You know, like that's the stuff that I love. Like when I hear like I went out the other night to an event that there was a bunch of other people there, and like someone came up to me saying, "I loved your video," and I didn't even expect them to watch the video that I made. You know? Like, so it was like, oh, cool. And then we got talking about it, and they were asking me questions about it, and okay, cool. This is it. That's why I'm doing this. This is great. Yeah.
You're being open to like sharing yourself with someone, you know, and letting your audience get to know you in a way that, like, you know, it typically in the past, like, they didn't have that accessibility, right? And people want that accessibility to like a fan, you know, fans want that kind of like insight into who you are, and they want to know like behind the scenes kind of like what you're like, right?
Well, I love doing that. Like, I love like behind the scenes, like writing a song or playing
the process behind it.
Yeah, exactly. And I love filming in the studio and filming me recording a guitar solo, or like, I love all that stuff.
That's great.
You can, share it later, and this is the moment it happened, folks. You know, like I love that, because I like watching that myself.
I was just gonna say that as an artist, I love, like, you know, seeing behind the scenes of like, dance rehearsals, kind of how they're getting up to like that performance, I think. So yeah, it's really fun. And it is interesting that as a social media society or community that we're getting more and more raw, right? They're just like hit record and then hit
just putting
send, put it up. Yeah.
Who cares? And really,
people love that.
Yeah, people love it.
Yeah.
In fact, the more raw, the better.
I know.
Anything that I put out that's super polished gets less views than the raw stuff.
I know. It's so wild.
There you go.
People want it as organic and natural as possible, because then it feels like real life.
Yeah.
Right. And I think they get to see this like glimpse of you of like just being that human that you are, you know, you're like, I'm an artist, but I'm also just like hanging out in this forest. What's up?
Yeah, exactly. Which I do often.
Yeah. I think it's great. I loved it. I thought you're like just so natural with yourself, and that comes through with your music, and it also comes through with your social media
awesome. Thanks for
presence.
noticing.
Yeah. What do you think independent musicians need most right now?
Oh man.
Aside from money.
Yeah, I know. Besides money. Oh my God.
We all know there's a lack of money.
I don't know. Less distractions.
Right?
Community. That's a big one. I think like independent artists, independent musicians, just they need that work ethic to like not give up on themselves and know that they are doing a great thing. So that self-confidence, right? Like that drive to kind of just keep them going. Like don't give up. Even when you think you're failing, you're not. You're actually not failing. Like just keep going. Yeah, you're growing. Like just keep going. I think that's a big one. We've all met artists who like get tired from, they get burnt out,
Yep.
And
it's emotional. You're like just giving and giving of yourself, right? Like it's emotional.
Yeah. So I think in that respect, you have to kind of learn to be able to shut it off, maybe behind the screen, like just shut it off.
Yeah, find some boundaries. I'm trying to work on that. It's really hard.
Boundaries are tough.
Yeah, when it comes to your art and your music, it's
I know.
Yeah, it's really hard to like create those boundaries. Is your wife an artist?
She is. Oh yeah, she's amazing like textile artist. She does costume design. She builds puppets. She's a puppeteer.
Wow.
Come on. So cool.
Our house. You walk in our house and there's like a puppet there, like that'll what? Who is that? It's actually a puppet of Bruce Springsteen. She made a puppet of Bruce Springsteen.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so there's no shortage of and similar to your household, it seems like of just creative expression, right?
Yeah.
And supporting your kids as well.
Yeah,
So like that's
definitely
big for my daughter. Like we're always just supporting her creative flow and what she wants to do in her life. And
celebrating that part of her. And we got to have a play date with our kids, because honestly, I don't know if they're, it's going to be rare for us to find kids that get raised in this environment.
Right. Yeah. They're
going to hang out with their friends and they're going to be like,
it's pretty.
Your house is boring.
Oh man,
my house is like a nut house.
I just think like with my daughter, like she's always met the musicians I'm recording. She's always had that. Like it's just been part of her life. It's like she doesn't know it any other way. Right?
Yeah. Do you ever look at your kid and be like, I'm so jealous. I wish I had this as a kid.
Totally, 100%. Like wow, like my life would have been different, or I'm happy with my life, but totally. Like it's just a different vibe, and it's great. It's so awesome to watch.
Yeah. Totally. Having them raised in that, I know, and you just think like, oh, I wish all humans I wish our society was raising us all like this, right? Of just more celebration and art and creativity, instead of that whole like think linear, get the job done, get focused, you know? Instead of just like letting just creative energy flow in and out of you. I think it's so powerful.
Because that linear thing, that's easy. That's the easy stuff. Like that can happen at any time.
Yeah.
If you need to turn on the linear and like
just get something done.
you can do it.
Yeah.
I think like people who have learned how to think outside the box and like improvise and with, you know, creativity builds that, especially at a young age, can help with that whole improvisation thing. I find those folks are maybe more successful doing the linear thing. Like if they want to turn that switch on.
Yeah, I can do the linear in the back of my brain at the same time.
Exactly.
Like it's easy. It's so easy. But I think they do spend a lot of time. Maybe it's because people struggle with it, you know, that we hear it a lot in school where they're just like, pay attention, focus on this.
Yeah. Right.
Instead of like celebrating the fact that I'm going like this because I'm doing 9 different like thought processes at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm like weighing them out, right? But I think maybe people can't like do that all at the same time. So they try it at a school level, trying to like fix that. So no.
I don't know. Yeah. To be a fly on the wall in the classroom. Yeah.
I was gonna say, how's your daughter doing in school?
She's doing good.
She likes it.
Yeah, she'll. Yeah. You know,
There's always
if she was sitting here, she'd say no, she doesn't like it. But we have to remind her, like, it's her community. It's your community. Like,
you have to hang out with kids your own age.
Yeah, and like, and you're learning things that are gonna come in handy. And so for her favorite thing about school is just like playing and the clubs, you know, dance club. She loves dance club, choir club. She loves all that stuff. So to me,
you're
that's
like, I can't give you that. If you were at home with me, I can't offer you that, right? I can offer you lots of things, but not that. So
yeah.
Awesome. Any favorite local spots? I know you mentioned Mate, but any favorite nature trails or venues that you like to play at in St. Catharines?
Yeah, Mate is a place that I've gone to many times. I've played there many times. I used to run a improvised music series there. So the first Monday of every month I was there, and we would just do improvised music.
Cool.
Of all kinds, like noise to free jazz to just
fun.
anything. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
But they've always been open to that. Like that's why I like.
Are you part of the Songwriters Club?
I've never been able to go, because they meet on Monday nights, and for the longest time I was teaching. I teach part-time, so I was teaching on Monday nights. So I've never I wasn't able to go recently for some reason. So anyway, I'll make it out.
I'll make it out.
I like what Brandon's doing.
I know.
Brandon's a friend.
Brandon, I went to high school with Brandon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
awesome. Him and I have a lot in common, and we always put our brains together, come up with ideas, and community building.
Where do you teach?
Yeah.
I teach part-time at Brock sound design.
So
I do sound design for theater as well. It's just another thing to add to the list. And
cool.
But I teach it to theater students.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
and
great.
It's a lot of fun, actually.
I've
loved
a really
good department there.
Well, obviously, like when you own any, like when you're involved in any theater production stuff, there's all these other things like the costume designs and set designs and the recording and the like music production that, I've always had maybe I just want a performing arts school.
Yeah.
The more I say it out loud.
Do it.
Right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah, there's so many different parts that go into it, and then again, it comes down to that collaboration on a project, right?
That's it exactly. Yeah. And it's I enjoy being at a university. There's certain curriculum that we have to teach, but I think my favorite parts of that job are I also get to do a sound design for a student production. So we end up working together on the same level, which is really great.
Yeah.
So that to me is my favorite part of that job. It's where we're kind of giving the students the we're kind of raising them up to a
giving
level.
them creative license, right?
Exactly.
So, student
empowering
voices.
their abilities and
that's cool.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm trying to get some projects going in Niagara Falls at the elementary schools and getting student choreography clubs kind of going. So to give them some rubrics or some examples and then kind of letting them go and choreograph some stuff for the younger kids. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's great, empowerment.
Yeah.
And teachers just don't have time. Obviously, they're so busy.
Getting back to your question too, Niagara Artist Center.
Yeah, you were mentioning
I mentioned
that.
the NAC. Yeah, they've always been a huge supporter of mine, and I worked there for a chunk of time too, long time ago. They've always supported what I do.
Cool. Now they have that little like traveling stage too. I've seen that out a few times.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's so fun.
Yeah. They've got that stage, and they're building a whole new building now next to the NAC. They've knocked down these old buildings, and like over the last month, they've demoed those old buildings, and they're going to be building like a what do you call it? A maker workspace.
Like Maker Bean. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
cool. It's going to be like carpentry stuff?
Visual art.
Okay.
Visual art. They had looked into maybe something music related, but I think they're just going to focus on the visual art. And maybe there'll be a space in there for rehearsing, possibly. Like I don't know how big
similar
that space
to like the Exchange now we have in Niagara Falls. That place is really
not
cool.
as big. Not as big. Yeah. So that's why I think they're focusing more on like visual art studios.
Right. They don't need giant spaces for it. Yeah. That's cool. And then the other place you said was Willow?
Yeah, Willow Arts Community.
Arts Community.
They're not really a drop-in place. They do have some drop-in programs, but there's something that I recommend people looking up. And yeah, you just have to become a member. It's free to become a member, and then they allow the free programming, which I love. And and there's always different. They have like I think 3 seasons, and then they don't do anything in the summer. So every season there's like a block of programming that you can do. So they're great. What else? You said hiking too. Like I love the Short Hills. I go to the Short Hills all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to music there. I write music there. I don't listen to anything but the birds there, that type of stuff. That's
the nature
a
sounds.
huge thing for me.
Cool.
Yeah, bring the binoculars, watch some birds,
Yep.
Love it. Or like go for hikes with friends and dream up ideas. And but whenever I'm working on an album of my music or someone else's music, I always listen. It's like a test if the album is done, if it works in nature. Like I go for a walk and listen on headphones and test it out there.
That's so fun.
Yeah. Super
Great
cool.
idea. Okay, so yeah, you've talked a few times about your upcoming album that comes out June 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Any other shows or side projects that we should know and watch for the summer?
I'm gonna be. I don't have too many dates in the books.
Well, get on it.
I know. Not in the summer.
Come on.
I know, but
joking.
come September, things get a little busy. So
Okay.
I'm doing an album release in Toronto.
I was just gonna say that. Are you doing an album release?
I've already done one in St. Catharines, like where the album isn't available digitally, like online, but I wanted to still have a celebration and sell it.
Yeah, for sure. Before it goes online, everyone can get it free.
So,
smart man.
Yeah, exactly. So I've done that in St. Catharines. I've got one in Toronto this weekend. I don't know when this is airing, but that's June 14th in Toronto at the Transac. So we're doing a release there. And I'm playing in Stratford at the Bunker on June 27th, the day my album's being released. I'm playing there. But then skip ahead to September and October, and I don't think it's been announced yet, but my full band and I are going to be playing at the Niagara Falls Night of Art.
Yay!
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. We were in it last year. We built a psychedelic pyramid.
Oh, that was you guys.
Nice. Oh yeah, you saw it? It was lit up.
Totally. No, I go every year. It's one of my favorite events.
The original art.
Oh yeah.
And then we put it inside a pyramid.
It's so great. It's such a great event, and I've played it a few times, but this is the first time that I'll be able to. I'm playing with my full band.
Cool.
So that's
it's such a
super
great
exciting.
night.
I'm also doing I was hired to be the music director for the Gord Downey tribute night that happens at the Performing Arts Center.
Oh yeah.
So we're doing. I mentioned earlier that Secret Path album. My band and I are performing that album from start to finish with the movie. And we're also doing that at the Burlington Arts Center. So I gotta get the calendar out. Those dates are.
Give me them.
The Burlington Performing Arts Center is. We'll be there October 10th. Mm-hmm. And then at the St. Catharines First Ontario Performing Arts Center, we're there on October 16th.
So cool. All right. Yeah, we'll try to put those dates up on the podcast.
And yeah, those are.
This is great. I don't even have to look at figure out my social calendar. My friends just come and invite me personally.
Come on, and those are like pay what you can events. At least the St. Catharines one
St.
is
Catharines?
for sure.
Okay.
And it's all the proceeds go to the Downey Wenjack Fund.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Love events like that.
Totally.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
this was so
guys.
much fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll definitely
be
checking all this stuff out.
Beauty.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and you'll never miss a podcast.
Good night.